Hey guys, welcome to Split. Today we are talking about a non-obtrusive way to track your fitness and health and sleep in general, all put together. Now you may have heard about the Ring Con or the Oura Ring, typically premium ways to track your health with a fitness ring. But today we're not going to talk about those. We are talking about a competition that is here pretty much to push the envelope a little bit. This is the Ultrahuman Ring Air. Right here, this box. And out the box is already doing something right by not charging a subscription fee for your data. Let's get into it. So before we get into the marvel that is ultra-human tracking in this marvel called Ring, how I heard about these guys, I think I was whining somewhere on social, I'm not sure. And then this guy, Pratik from Ultrahuman, reached out to me via email and said, hey man, you gotta try out this ring. It'll help you out with your sleep issues, tracking, yada yada, blah blah. It's really good, it's really awesome, give it a shot. And I'm typically like, yeah, whatever, spam. But no, I eventually tried it out, I agreed, and they sent me this thing, and I'm glad he followed me up. So thumbs up to you, Pratik, thanks a lot. Now, first step in figuring out the ring that works for you when it comes to the Ultrahuman Ring Air process is you don't get this box first. No. Once you apply or say, I want to buy an Ultrahuman Ring Air, they send you this box or the black version. There's a white and a black version. And this is the sizing kit. This box helps you determine what is the right size for you. And it has a varying number of sizes in there. Now you may know your ring size, but it's not the same as what you would typically have. I made a mistake of sending them my ring size and said, nope, use one of these. And why that's important, because it does have a small indent at the base for the sensors. And so you take one of these, and the trick is to wear it around for at least a day, 24 hours, because your finger size changes all through the day because of the blood moving through it, how you've kept your arm. Did you work out? Did you walk? Did you run? Has your hand been in the air from being arrested? Okay, fine. That's not funny. But still, hands in the air because you were in a party all day, which will adjust your blood flow. Ring sizes will vary. And since you worn it for 24 hours, you will know if that size is comfortable for you because it needs to be snug enough not to cut off your circulation, but tight enough not to fall off when you swing your arm. And that's how you know you get a good fit. Now, Ultrahuman suggests that you wear this on your index finger because for some weird reason, I think supposedly gives you the most accurate reason for some connection to your veins or something. I don't know the math, but it's not stuck in stone. If you really can't wear it on that finger for some medical reason, whatever, it will work on other fingers. I've tried it, the reading is still pretty solid. This is the recommended finger. Moving on. Once you've picked your size, I happen to be a size 9, you gotta pick your color. And it comes in various colors. It comes in Astro Black, Bionic Gold, Space Silver, or Matte Gray. This is Space Silver, right? I think I wanted Matte Black, Matte Gray or something, but I think they ran out of that. But I'm glad I went with this because once it came, it looks good. Goes with my bling sometimes. And that's it. And that's the first level before you then get your main box. Now when this comes, you're wondering, Jay just asked me, why do I have such a big box for a small ring? Presentation, it's the premium nature. In the box, you will get the ring itself sitting on top, like, you know, the rings rule them all. You take that out, then you're gonna get some reading material that says you're Ultrahuman, hello cyborg, yada yada. You're gonna get a charger, a charging cradle that is designed to fit the size of your ring, kind of makes sense, so that it's not loose rolling around, and a USB-C cable to connect to that charging cradle to help you charge up your ring. Boom, that's everything you got in the box. So let's talk about the form factor. Again, like Jay would say, isn't it just a ring, it's round? Yeah, that kind of is a big deal, because if you look at the Ring Con and the Oura Ring, those aren't exactly perfectly round. You can tell that there's something off about those rings. First off, this is perfectly round. It looks good. So it's made of fighter grade titanium reinforced with tungsten carbide carbon coating. That's like Wolverines. No, it's not like Wolverine stuff. But bottom line is pretty tough. It's pretty wear resistant. Not to say it will not aesthetically get damaged if you scratch this against something. We'll talk about that later. But it is resistant to real brute force damage. Other than that, it does house a couple of sensors inside when you take this off. Your typical infrared and LEDs, which you can sometimes see at night, you know, if you're putting it on to charge or at the corner out of your eye under the ring. and a host of sensors, 6-axis, gyroscope, what's that thing again? Photoplethysmography sensor. I've never said that word out loud. I always say PPG sensor. I think everybody in the world calls it PPG sensor. And that's the stuff that you find in most smartwatches, that uses the light basically to track things like heart rate, heart variability, HRV, blood oxygen saturation, the works, etc. And that's all put in this nicely designed ring that looks very unobtrusive, no one's gonna notice that you have all that tech on your finger. Now there is a way to wear this ring. There's a little bump at the bottom that indicates where the bottom of the ring should be, and that should go at the bottom of your finger. Well, at least that's what they said. I don't know why, but I think that aligns with something about your vein alignment. But that's how you wear it. And that's it for the form factor. It's also pretty light at 2.4 grams. It's lighter than the other competitive rings, which makes it very comfortable to wear for long term. I forget that it's on my hand, and I'm not really a ring person, but you can completely forget that it's there. Of course, until you punch someone in the face by accident and they lose teeth, but you forget that it's there. And in there is a 24 milliamp hour battery, which again, I will talk a bit more about later, that powers all those sensors. Like I said, 2.4 grams makes this a really convenient thing to wear, especially for sleep tracking. Now, I stress sleep tracking for two reasons. One, I struggle with sleep for reasons best known to me. And two, it's one of the most underused features on my smartwatches. Even though I like that they're there and I want to use them, most of the time I try, but I'm very uncomfortable with sleeping with a lot of smartwatches. Not because of the fault of the smartwatch, because whenever I'm asleep, it's like I'm in a Mortal Kombat tournament and I tend to scar up my own face with the indents on the watch. My fault. But with the ring, that doesn't happen because it's just sort of tucked away in the background, which is really great. And that data, because it's there and consistent, the data it gives you is really good. And I'm talking about, it's not just a data dump like you get from a lot of tracking devices. It's the way it breaks them down to make them a bit more useful for you. So let me just take it one step at a time. Now, if you look at the Ultrahuman app, it's so well done that it's not just a random data dump that you have that basically numbers and mean nothing. There are a bunch of numbers, don't get me wrong, but if you're looking at the app, there are a few main zones, your movement index, your sleep index, your recovery score, and your cardiovascular fitness, amongst many things. But as you deep dive into them, it then begins to make sense how it applies this to make you better, Ultrahuman. Whether you want to improve sleep or your cardiovascular health, it's broken down in a way that just makes sense, and with the data it's sending you. Starting at the very top, they have something called a stimulant window. Right? And this is really cool for those of you who wake up in the morning and you want to drink coffee. Based on the data it gets from you, different people have different times when you should be ingesting coffee, and how much sleep you've got should also depend on when you should take that coffee. If you listen to Andrew Huberman, I think he has a podcast, really cool science geeky guy. I love him. He talks about delaying your intake of caffeine when you wake up to allow adenosine, which is in your system during sleep, flush out naturally so that you're not relying on caffeine to block the receptors. Super geeky stuff, but awesome. Bottom line is, this app helps you calculate in a very clear graph when you should avoid caffeine, and then it prompts you to say, hey, it's go time. If you want to take stimulants, caffeine, this is the window for you to do it safely so that it can burn out of your system. And it goes an extra step to show you just exactly the types of caffeinated beverages you can take and how long they will be in your system if you do take them. Once that window expires, like you see here, it says caffeinated beverages 0. I'm in the window period right now where I shouldn't be taking anything because I'm getting closer to bedtime. So it says avoid all of them. And then it gives you downers to aid sleep. So it's not just focused on one thing, a whole list of options. You can drink warm milk, almond milk, and it gives you the size in which you should drink it. So again, like I said, very useful in terms of prompting you when to go, when not to go, what to drink, what not to drink, sort of like having that doctor in your pocket, if you will. And that's just for the sleep window, which again is really peculiar to me. So if you look at my sleep score here, my sleep index, other than breaking down the standard REM sleep and deep sleep and light sleep and all that, showing what you're doing wrong or right. So I'm a heavy light sleeper. Like you can see here, the bulk of my sleep was this yesterday, was for 3 hours, 31 minutes at light sleep because I have trust issues. I just want to be awake in case somebody just sneak up on me and take you down. That's not why I have issues. My REM sleep was an hour, which is an improvement from the previous day. And you can check this week on week, because if you go and click total sleep, it'll do a day-by-day comparison. Or if you check efficiency of your sleep, are you getting better or worse? Mine seems to have gotten worse a bit. If you check your average heart rate during the period, you can just check various graphs and it'll tell you what needs attention. My sleep efficiency needs attention. My temperature is great, and so on and so forth. You can just keep deep diving and get lost in all that data. But bottom line is, if that's not your thing, the cool thing is that after a week, this thing will send you a weekly report that says, this is what you've done wrong, or this is what you're not doing well, this is what you could be doing better, this is the goal, these are the steps to take, in a very nice chart, easy to digest one. It'll send it in the app, it'll send it in an email, and at least you can have that data if you're not following up day to day, which I think is cool. And beyond the stimulant intake window with the graph and nice stuff that shows you when to drink or what not to drink, there's also what's that called? A phase response curve. So sort of like your impact of light that affects your circadian rhythm. So it's called a circadian phase alignment, I believe, and it tells you when you should get more light in the day. It'll prompt you and say, hey, you should get out now, maybe a brisk walk or get more sunlight to help you get to sleep easier later on in the day, and so on and so forth. So it's, again, very useful information that prompts you to be better at doing certain things to elevate either your sleep. And of course, it has your standard, you need to get up and walk, you've been sitting down for too long. And if that doesn't work, it gives you a rating bar that says, based on your recovery score, whether you should push more today or push less because of how it's tracked your efforts from the previous day. And that way you know whether or not to go overboard. And if you don't think it's accurate, you can manually slide the bar to say, I do feel rested or I don't feel rested. And it will adjust accordingly based on the metrics and learn your feelings, if you will, for how you feel, or your body composition, if you will, for the day. So like I said, there are a bunch of sensors in this ring, especially for working out, other than just walking. So like it did seem fairly accurate from step counting and my heart rate when I'm typically stationary. But we decided, why not I compare it against actual smartwatches that do this as a standard? So we went to my favorite place in the world, the gym. Okay, so we're in the place I hate the most, the gym, for science, for you guys. And what we're gonna do is, because the workout part for the Ultrahuman Ring is in beta, I wanna see just how much beta it's in, where you can put in an actual workout and track it. So what I'm gonna do is set up indoor running on the Ultra Ring Human, and then I'm gonna set it up on my Watch 6 Classic, and I'm also gonna set it up on the Watch 7. I don't have a 9 or an Ultra because they banned Apple from selling in the US. Haha, not true, I just can't afford it. But it'll do. It's a rudimentary test, it's not very scientific, but let's see if they're at least in the same ballpark for tracking. 10 minutes, it's gonna be hard. Let's get to it. Treadmill here, indoor running here. Start, and I'm gonna set up indoor run here. And I'm gonna start that. So they've all started pretty much. And then this will be the benchmark. This is gonna measure the actual 10 minutes. And I'm gonna switch between running and walking because I'm lazy. So we're gonna do quick activate, and we're gonna go to 6. Zone 3, on the ring. So let's not do that again. First of all, I noticed on immediate measure, because of the Bluetooth connection, it takes about 5 seconds to sort of update on the screen real time what's happening with your body as the workout is running. But versus the watch, once you're getting to it, it all pretty much synced up, plus or minus a few beats per minute difference. The Apple Watch started out a bit underclocking my calorie burn, but at the end of it, they all kind of synced up to about 110, 120 calories, supposedly, in that 10, 11 minute walk run period. So not too bad, if you ask me, for a ring on your finger. However, like I said earlier, I wouldn't recommend, if you're worried about this aesthetically for weightlifting or rubbing against things that have metal, because it will scar it aesthetically. You will see those scratches. It won't damage the ring, but it will look scuffed up. Jay said maybe just wear gloves or put a cloth around it if that doesn't bother you. If you want to not get it all scratched up, that would be one way to get around it. But other than that, maybe just take it off. It is water resistant. You can take this swimming, I think up to over 320, 330 feet. It'll be fine. Sorry, 330 meters. It should be fine. But I wouldn't shower and maybe leave it on for long, purely because of reactions on your skin. It is coated with non-reactive material on the inside, hypoallergenic. But I mean, keep in mind that you are locking moisture between your skin and something that's hypoallergenic, so your skin might be very sensitive. I would suggest maybe when you're about to take a shower, take it off, charge it, and then take a shower, put on some lotion, and then put your ring back on. I don't think it's gonna make a big difference in your tracking for day-to-day. How long can you possibly take a shower for? Charging, battery life. This thing has a 24 milliamp hour battery, and it's pretty solid. For all those things it carries and charges, it's rated to last 6 days, according to the company. This thing probably has never lasted more than 4 days. In fact, everywhere I've checked, no one has actually clocked 6 days. It will probably clock 6 days if you just leave it on the table without a problem. But I think if you use it averagely and have average movement at all, you're going to be in that 4.5 days. Maybe I haven't optimized the battery yet. Who knows? I will give you guys feedback after another month or so. But right now, that's where I'm at. And that's still not bad, because that's easily workable into your schedule. Like I said, pop it onto the thing for about 30 minutes wherever it stopped, and then take a shower and get back out and take it and run. Full charge from zero is typically about under an hour. Last time I checked was like 50 something minutes. I got it to full from zero. But about an hour is more than enough to get it back to where it's meant to be. Okay, are there things I don't like or I want to nitpick about? Always. Like in the app, I think if you're not very focused and want to look at those numbers, the initial just numbers on the screen might be a bit confusing for some people. I would say an immediate improvement would just put like activity icons on those cards, right? If this is the movement, should have a movement icon, sleep should have a sleep icon. So instinctively you know what you're looking at and you tap that. But that's just me, let me know what you guys think. But I think the more you look at it, if you're buying this ring, you probably already know what you're getting into, and that shouldn't be much of a problem. My second nitpick is something I talked about a few seconds ago, is about the scarring. It can scar aesthetically easily. It won't break the ring, but it may not look as great as you want it to, depending on the color you pick. So you might want to be careful if you're weightlifting or rubbing it against something to preserve that shine. Alternatively, they do have a subscription platform, I think called Ultrahuman X. They do have a subscription platform. I think it's called Ultrahuman X, but it's not for your data. I think it's more like Apple Care that helps you if you want to swap out the ring if it's broken, or maybe get a new one. So basically it's insurance, but it's not the same as what the competition is doing, where they sort of lock in your data and you have to pay to get that behind a paywall. And what else do I need to nitpick on? It's expensive, but hey, these things, the tech that goes into here, jet fighter, titanium grade and all, I can understand the premium nature of this. $350 might be a little steep for some people to get to. That's the price of some premium smartwatches. Well, that's under most premium smartwatches, to be honest, but it's a smartwatch without a screen, but it does almost everything they do except tell the time. And that's something to consider if you're getting into this. So it might not be for everybody just from a price point standard, but in terms of convenience and that understated sleekness, it is pretty solid. So I could go on for much longer in this video because there's so much to talk about this thing, because there's no doubt I will make another video. Other than the lightweight, the premium nature of it, the battery life, the lack of a subscription, the data sets it gives you, and the useful tips it gives you to enhance your sleep, your movement, your health overall, it truly is in the realm of trying to make you ultra-human. And I really like it. I'm happy I tested this thing out. It's pretty solid. There are things I didn't talk about, like if you go to the Discovery tab in the app, they have podcasts and health advisors and workouts to help you with whether it's your movement or your sleep habits and stuff like that. In fact, there is even a chat area where you can immediately discuss with people if you don't understand any part of the data, and they will respond to you immediately. Like, what does HRV mean? Heart rate variability. How do you calculate recovery score? And they'll break that down for you. So it's real-time help, and it's sitting in there for free for now, for free, which I think is also pretty solid on their part. And that's my take for now for the Ultrahuman Ring Air. Pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is Ultra Ring, well, ring fitness tracking your thing? Like I said, you're not kind of stuck to this index finger thing. You can actually put it there, replace your wedding band if that's your thing, and 2 for 1. But you do you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will take your questions, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.